Hello, everyone. Happy Tuesday. I'm Skylar Reed, and I am about to go into our online vocal workshop with you guys today. This is something that I want to start doing every month, every second Tuesday of the month. So just mark your calendars. You guys can come in and ask your questions in the chat. I'll answer. There will definitely be a Q&A portion. And today, I kind of want to just talk about how to sing and do some vocal warm ups for you guys and get into all of that. So, I'm going to pull up my warm ups. And if you're rolling in, if you have any questions, just put them in the chat and I will answer them at the end of the workshop. So, this is a short 30-minute vocal workshop. And I'm excited to get started. I see you guys requesting a lot of Tip Tuesday videos, a lot of riff and run videos and things like that. And I always like to come up with some new ideas. So this is a cool way to just interact with you even more and kind of get your questions answered faster and all of that. And today I'm just going to be talking about how to sing. So we're going to do a few warm-ups, just a few couple short warm-ups, and then I'll get into some tips and whatnot. So the first one, it's October. I'm feeling like Halloween vibes. So we're gonna do like a minor arpeggio. And let's do it on ooh. So we're gonna go If I go too high, you don't have to keep going. Just wait till I come back down to what's comfortable for you. Few more. One more. Cool, cool. The next thing I want to do is a minor scale on E. Normally, most warm-ups you might do in here are in major, but I think it's important to get your ear accustomed to other keys, other like scales and things. There's the blues scales, there's the pentatonic scale, there's just so many different things you can kind of get your ear accustomed to. So, well, so we're gonna go on E. If you have any questions, leave them in the chat. more. I'm gonna go down now, but if you're just joining, ask questions in the chat. I'll answer them. I'm going to talk about how to sing, give some tips on singing, tips on practicing, things like that. And this is a monthly workshop that I'm starting today. So one more. Cool beans, cool beans. So, what genre to sing? What genre to sing? So, these are questions that I get a lot from singers that I work with, or things that I just feel like would be helpful for you to know. So, the first thing I'm going to touch on is what genre to sing. As an artist or as a singer, like if you're trying to be a wedding singer or be in a corporate band or um, any kind of singer, bars, clubs, anything like that. Or if you're trying to be an artist and write your own songs, and get songs from other songwriters and record them and put out your own music. Finding your genre is like so important, and it may not be the most simplest thing. Like what I like listening to might necessarily be what I sound good singing. I remember I watched the Braxtons like back in the day. Not even back in the day because it's not that old, but I love that show, and I remember Tamar saying, like, she likes listening to, like, trap music and, like, hip hop and R&B and B and just different kind of things where she actually doesn't sing very well over that kind of stuff. She sings better, over the ballads and the music that we hear her put out. And I feel like that goes for, like, every artist, every singer. Not everything you sing is going to be fitting for you. Um for me, I started off in opera. I studied classical music. I've always sung like everything growing up, but I studied classical music in college, and then I went to LA and I started my journey in opera. And I was in the chorus, and I had solos and different things like that, and had small parts, and kind of got into that world. And it was an experience. It was fun. It was cool. I love opera. I think it's the coolest thing. But I realized eventually it wasn't necessarily for me as a singer, as an artist, because I was trying to also do like my own projects on the side, and it kind of got in the way of that, me trying to sing opera, but also like sing R&B over here. And then when it came to me becoming an artist and figuring that out, I had to figure out, okay, what songs sound good? Like R&B is such a huge, broad genre nowadays, and that can be a whole nother workshop at another time about the music in R&B. But there's so many different eras of R&B, and like right now, what you hear, what's considered R&B is not necessarily what I would consider R&B. That's on the radio right now. I love like the Jill Scott and like Alicia Keys and Mariah Carey and just things like that, where it's like, okay, those are the artists that I kind of grew up on. But even still, not everything that they would sing would be something that would fit me. So basically, how to find the genre that works for you, practice singing in different genres. I joined a corporate band a couple years ago, and I would sing country, I would sing rock, I would sing folk, I would sing songs that I just would never really listen to otherwise. But it was great. It was a great learning experience for me. And when I was in LA, I used to do performances and get booked for certain performances. And I would do a lot of like folk music and alternative, like old school, like 70s music by bands I don't even remember the names of. But it was cool because it's like I was introducing myself to more genres of music, more sounds and stuff, and tuning my ear to different melodies and just different things, different ways of singing. So I think it's really important to listen to so many genres so you can learn from them, but also listen to see what you like and see what connects to you, see what makes sense for your voice to sing. I personally don't sing country well, I don't think. I sing opera pretty okay, but I'm probably not good enough to be an opera star. Um, I am not a pop singer. My voice isn't poppy. It's very jazzy, it's very soulful. So naturally, I gear towards that kind of music, the Lettuceys, the Jill Scotts, the people I would cover. I cover Jill Scott a lot. I'm trying to think. Jasmine Sullivan, somewhat, certain things, but just finding like the artists that make sense for my voice. Finding those artists that make sense for me to cover, because when you cover songs, you learn from those songs. So just finding that genre, just make sure that you're um, dabbling in different genres and just educating yourself about what is out there so you can better make a decision on what it is you're going to sound like. Even today, there's Summer Walker, two completely different artists but at the top of their game right now. There's Jasmine Sullivan, there's Seven Streeter, like all these people that are like in the R&B field, but they're very different sounding. So it's like figure out, okay, am I more of like a her, or am I more like um someone else, like, who was that artist? Uh, what is her name? Emily King. Emily King is another, I guess I consider her R&B, but she's like jazzy too, but her voice is just so different. You know, there's Corinne Bailey Rae. There's just a lot of different artists within the genre. But just listen, see what works for you. When it comes to singing, some tips that I'd like to share with you, and these are things that I will expound upon more as we go throughout these workshops. I definitely want to kind of get some feedback from you guys and hear what you want to learn so I can better cater each workshop towards certain topics that you actually want to learn about and that you actually could benefit from. So there's breathing, of course, breathing one-on-one. Making sure that you understand how to breathe, when to breathe. Making sure that you're breathing between the phrases. Think of singing as like a conversation, breathing after the thought, and then preparing for the next thought, using the breath as a preparation tool for the next phrase. There's diction. I just had a lesson a few hours ago where I was working with someone on diction, just making sure that when you're singing, making sure that the words actually come across. Like when you're talking, it's a little bit different when you're singing, you're holding vowels and stuff, and the consonants can get muddy. You want to make sure that you don't get muddy. You want to make sure that you're really breathing in the vow, or breathing in what you're about to sing, and prepare for it and really shape the words with your mouth. It really, really helps. It really comes across really well, especially if you're doing theater type stuff, especially if you're doing theater, or especially if you're recording. You don't want it to come sloppy unless you're doing mumble rap or, that kind of thing. I guess it doesn't matter. But anyway, there's ear training. Ear training is basically something that I do with all my students, and it's something that with kids, especially if you're a kid on here looking, or a teenager, making sure that you're listening and singing in key, like just getting your ear attuned to what it means to sing in key, singing with the instrumental, not going sharp or going flat. And if you're singing with the track and singing with the artist, you can probably hear if you're a little higher or a little low or off. And just making sure that you're doing that to fix that, to fix the ear training. It's helpful to learn an instrument. In my case, piano. I think piano is a great instrument to learn because when you play an instrument, any instrument really, it teaches your ear. I find that I always ask this question when I get new singers, kids or adults. Have you played an instrument before? Because it makes huge difference. If you played an instrument, you know what it sounds like. You know what music sounds like, what the 12, the major keys, what the 7 notes in the scale, like you just know. Anyone coming in, if you have any questions, put them in the comments and I'll answer them. I just want to make sure I touch on all of your questions and whatnot at the end. So we have, okay, so we did ear training. Tone. So with tone, basically it's like how you color your voice, making sure that you aren't singing with a flat tone, like that's like not very pretty, not very musical. I'm singing on pitch, but it sounds like it could be off pitch. It sounds a little, I don't really know about that. Oh, I like this one. Thank you. Drowning in Glitter asks, can you teach me how to harmonize, please? Yes, that's a great question. I will do a little exercise in a second on how to harmonize. So with tone and the color and whatnot, just making sure that you're energizing the note with the breath, basically. So really not really trying to breathe and like have it supported. But if I breathe and take the proper breath and add the breath support behind it, it could be energized. I could add vibrato if I want. It could just be way more vibrant and lively than just like a flat note and that doesn't have any tone. And there's many different tones you could add to your voice and do things with, but I won't get into that now. Posture is important when you're singing. If you ever sung in a choir, like you probably have learned, like sit up straight, sit tall. My director in college, she would always be like, ladies, hold up your double D's. Like you have a big chest and you're just put your shoulders back and like you want to have good posture when you're singing. You don't want to be hunched over. You don't want to be lazy. Absolutely can't stand when I have lessons and there's people just sitting crisscross or sitting like laying down or like weird. Like it's like, no, sit up for me, please. Like this is not a chill thing. Like we have to use our body. We have to be, ready for the breath and creating the space for it. So good posture is really important. Transitioning between the voicings is important. First, you got to understand what the voicings are: head voice, chest voice, mixed voice. And then just learning how to transition. This is basically when it comes to people cracking when they're singing and whatnot. And that just comes with practicing and understanding all of the voicings and practicing getting strong in each one and understanding what it takes to sing in each one. There's a technique to it. So with before I get to this harmonization exercise, so my Sing with Ease course, I do touch a lot on the voicings, on tone, on all of that. So if you want to learn more about the courses and whatnot, just visit my site, Skylar's Music Studio. With harmonization, really it's just if you play an instrument, if you play piano or if you have a piano app on your phone, it's kind of easier to see too. When you have a chord, for example, if you think of a choir, the notes in a chord are dispersed through the sections in the choir. So soprano might be the top, and then there's alto, and then there's tenor. Forget there's a bass. There's no bass right now. So that would be a chord. Harmony is basically singing the notes within the chord. So this would be like the tenor note. This note that I played would be the alto. So I'm going to sing alto and play the tenor. And it's just a third away. If you know solfege or can sing on numbers, 1, 2, 3. So if you're listening to a song and you hear a harmony in the song, or maybe you want to create a harmony with the song, it's a cool way to practice, just like create harmonies and sing along with the lead track. Maybe listen to that note, like take it out of context, don't sing it with the track and the instrument or whatnot. Maybe sing a cappella, take it out of context, sing that note and make it one. So like la, one, and then go 1, 2, 3, and then sing that note and maybe try to sing the 3 as you play the track as they're singing the note. So it could be like 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, that you could sing 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, or 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, and then the 5, the soprano, would be 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So harmony, it's broken up 1, 3, 5. Like Positions by Ariana, I'm trying to harmonize, but it doesn't sound right. Okay, that's a good one. I'm going to save that. Let me see. I'm going to save that question really quick. So what I'll do, I might do that in a video, in a Tip Tuesday video, because that will be a whole breakdown of the song. I'd have to listen and whatnot, but that might be cool to do a video on harmonizing a song. Thank you for that question. And the specifics. I appreciate the request. So I made a note of that. So yeah, with the 5th, la would be the highest in that. And if you're a recording artist, I record, I sing. Harmonies are my favorite thing to do. Like I can have the most fun when I'm recording a song. Like I'll go through my whole lead track, my whole chorus and like dubs and whatnot. And I save the harmonies for last because they take longer because I'm always like coming up with cool like sounds and different things. But the basics is like going 1, 3, and then 5 would be 5. than playing one and three. And with harmony, if you do sing in a choir, just making sure that you're holding your part down. Like you were just, you got your part, you know your part. If you're in a praise team at church or choir at church or in school or something like that, just knowing your part and just like staying steady, that can be the hardest thing. But luckily, that's why they separate the girls, because the girls' notes, the soprano and alto, can be really close to each other. So usually it's like the soprano, then like the bass or tenor, and then the alto. So it's like evenly split, so it's okay. So yeah, those are my singing tips. Any more questions before I go? This workshop will be a monthly workshop. I'm going to get on here every second Tuesday at 6 p.m. It'll be a quick little 30-minute workshop. More focused topics next time. I just want to kind of get in here and introduce you to some things, get you guys thinking about some things, and what you need to think about when it comes to singing and how to sing and whatnot, and choosing, the right songs to sing, the right genre and everything. And you're welcome. You're welcome. Drowning in glitter. You're welcome. So yeah, y'all take care. I'll see y'all in a month. Just like, hit me within the comments with suggestions for future videos or topics for the upcoming workshops, because I want to make sure that I'm helping you guys and I'm touching on things you want to learn, because there's so much stuff to learn in voice. Like there's just tons of things, but I just want to make sure it's something you want to learn. So anyway, y'all have a great one. Peace.